Contact us on 225-8465 or 226-7455 or email us at kaieteurradioads@gmail.com. You can even visit our office at 24 Saffron Street, Charlestown, Georgetown. Kaieteur Radio, covering you from coast to coast.
It's Survival Supermarket's Splashing Spray Pagwa promotion at their Sharp Street and Vicinjon Road branches on the 16th, 17th and 18th of March. Shop $10,000 and over for a chance to spin and win instant prizes. T-shirts, snacks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, Pagwa powder and shopping bags. So come on down on the 16th, 17th and 18th of March for a chance to spin and win. Happy Holi from Survival Supermarkets. Shop Price Smart at Survival.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening, time check for you, 19 hours 2. My name is Amrita Koshal and this is your nightly newscast. Without further ado, let's get to the news in detail. Several clauses in the opposition's motion on full coverage insurance submitted to the National Assembly have been subjected to changes by Speaker Manzoor Nadir, while most have been removed altogether. It was Shadow Oil and Gas Minister David Patterson who had submitted the motion seeking full coverage insurance of Guyana's oil activities to Parliament on February 16, 2022. The Speaker, in a written response to the MP, informed that 13 of the 20 clauses in Patterson's motion have been disallowed, while 2 of the whereas clauses were also amended. On the other hand, the Speaker also suggested that Patterson reword one of his clauses as the information included was inaccurate. The removal of these clauses means that they will not be debated in the National Assembly. With regard to the clauses amended by the Speaker, it is understood that the 6th and 7th clauses have been adjusted, although the Speaker said it was the 5th and 6th clauses. And on that note, we now tell you Manzoor Nadir has made it clear to Opposition Member of Parliament David Patterson that his motion on full coverage insurance has been reduced as it is not based on facts. The Speaker is reported to have also told Patterson that evidence must be provided to the House to substantiate the claims he made in his motion, calling for the government of Guyana to include full unlimited liability coverage for oil spills and other disasters related to petroleum production. The motion is also seeking an independent analysis on the possible ill effects of an oil spill and for this report to be submitted to the Parliamentary Committee of Natural Resources to be used as a reference for all other future oil development submissions, among other things. And moving on, the slothfulness of the APNU-AFC opposition to challenge the legality of the Natural Resource Fund Act can lead to irreversible losses and consequences. This is according to Chartered Accountant and Attorney at Law Christopher Ram. Ram agreed that the matter should be handled with expediency. The parliamentary opposition has been mulling legal action over the NRF Act, which the PPPC forcefully passed through Parliament without proper consultation last December. Back then, it was noted that the government rushed to pass the law after it removed several safeguards that allowed for transparency and placed the management of the oil fund largely under the control of the President and the Minister of Finance. Under the new law, the President and Finance Minister and others are vested with sweeping powers to appoint members to sit on the NRF board. And moving on, under the APNU-AFC government, staffers from the Ministry of Education and the Demerara Ice Factory found themselves in hot water over the sale of stolen fuel. The situation, which occurred in December 2017, was brought up for discussion before the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee on Monday. According to the report, the fuel was uplifted on 30 instances. As a result, on average, in excess of one 45-gallon drum was uplifted on each occasion. Based on the report, 6 vehicles are not registered as property of the ministry were used to uplift 4,351 liters of diesel valued $788,773 from the Kaieteur Regent Street location. A police investigation later found that hundreds of thousands of dollars in stolen fuel from the Ministry of Education was reportedly sold to the Demerara Ice Factory, allegedly with the full knowledge of the company's manager at the time. And in other stories, ExxonMobil's subsidiary, EEPGL, is currently hunting for more oil in the Kiru-Kiru-1 well located in the Stabroek block of Guyana's exclusive economic zone. In a notice published in the Kaieteur News, Marad said that the exploration activity commenced on March 14, 2022, and some 25 vessels will be used during the operation. Kaieteur News understands that the well site is situated some 115.297 nautical miles or 213 kilometers from the coast of Guyana and covers an area of 0.29 nautical miles or 1 square kilometer. All mariners are required to stay clear of these vessels and navigate with extreme caution when in the vicinity, Marad noted. Exxon's public relations officer, Janelle Poussard, briefly explained that the operator is also conducting drilling activities in other wells of the Stabroek block. These include Patwa, Lukanani, and Barrel I. At the beginning of this year, Exxon added 2 more discoveries to the 10 barrels of oil already found in Guyana. Both discoveries, the Fangtooth 1 and Lau Lau 1 well, are located in the Stabroek block. The time has now moved on to 19 hours 7. We will return with more news for you shortly after the break.
Enjoy access to premium sports for free from March 14 to 20 on Sportsmax. Watch the final leg of Champions League round of 16. See who scores the most points to advance to the NBA playoffs. Action right at your fingertips. Plus 2 gigabytes of Sportsmax data every day to stream S-Max 1, S-Max 2, and the NBA TV channels. Not just watching, but loving the best sporting experience. Sportsmax, simply more sports.
I am Sean Devers inviting you to join me this and every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. for the Sean Devers Sports Watch on Kaieteur Radio's 99.1 FM, 99.5 FM in Berbice, and live on Kaieteur Radio Facebook page. News, views, interviews, and your calls. So join me and let's talk sports.
And we now return with more news in detail. The government of Guyana has bypassed critical oversight provisions in the Natural Resource Fund Act with its move to allocate some $126 billion to this year's national budget. This is an observation made by businessman and transparency advocate Yog Mahadio, who is also a founding member of the civil society group Article 13. He told Kaieteur News during a recent interview that the absence of critical oversight committees raises concerns about transparency, control, and accountability of the government's use of the funds. The transparency advocate pointed to the NRF Act, which makes provisions for a board of directors, an investment committee, and a public accountability and oversight committee, none of which were in place to help steer the allocation of the $126 billion for the budget. He noted too that the supplementary budget allocation from the NRF makes it difficult for citizens to track and understand how exactly they are benefiting from the funds. His comments come just weeks after President Irfan Ali approved the selection of members of his party to sit on the board of directors for the Natural Resource Fund. And now finally we tell you a mixed 12-member jury has been impaneled for the trial of alleged Tugville serial rapist Thurston Semple, which will commence next Monday in the Georgetown High Court. Semple stands indicted for allegedly raping a Venezuelan woman who was identified as a sex worker. He is set to face a trial before Justice Sunarayan Bihari at the Georgetown High Court. The case is being prosecuted by State Counsel Nafisa Ali and Latifa Elliott. Semple, a taxi driver, is not yet represented by a lawyer and was committed to stand trial in the High Court for that offense last April. Prior to this, he had been placed before Principal Magistrate Faith Magusti at the Georgetown Magistrates Court, who found that there was enough evidence for him to stand trial in the High Court for the alleged rape of the Venezuelan woman. According to reports on March 5, 2021, Semple was slapped with his fourth rape charge and was remanded to prison for that offense. Kaieteur News understands that Kaieteur News had reported that he was not required to plead to the indictable charge, which alleges that between February 24, 2021 and February 25, 2021 at Lot 5A Tugville Terrace, Georgetown, he engaged in sexual penetration with a woman without her consent. And with that, we have come to the ending of your nightly newscast for the 15th of March. My name is Amrita Koshal, and you are listening to Kaieteur Radio.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 22